Well, hello there, folks. It's been a long time since we played some Ultimate General Civil War, guys, and I've got to say, I've been itching to play. We're going to be playing as the Union guys here in the Battle of Antietam. It's going to be a hell of a fight and a hell of a challenge. Now, of course, the Union did win this battle historically, but I don't find it to be an easy victory. Let's jump right in, guys, and get started. Alright, good. Alright guys, so we are going to be playing as General Hooker here, and we are going to be advancing south. The woods are defended by some pretty heavy Confederate infantry, and to the south they have, of course, even more units. What we're going to try to do, guys, is secure this hill. That would be the first part of the battle here, and of course capture the Dunker Church area right there. So we've got our work cut out for us, and we certainly want to try and break the enemy as quickly as possible. Alright, here we go, guys. Wish us luck. I never liked this battle, just because it's, I think, next to Gettysburg, and actually maybe even the most bloody battle in the entire American Civil War, and there's a reason for it. We are not advancing in friendly territory here at all. We're out in the open. It's very, very hard to get cover here. We're going to be able to get cover here on our left side, their right side, but it's not really going to make much of a difference. You know, at least for these units, they'll do fine, but we have to advance on this area, and it's going to be painful one way or the other. That's just the plain, cold, hard truth. So I'm going to take the Iron Brigade here. Now, the Iron Brigade is known for some incredible close combat, guys. They're known as the Black Hats. They are some really bloody, violent men. You know, obviously, you've got tremendous amount of guys from the South. I'm thinking of Fort Pillow Massacre and things like this. You've got a tremendous amount of quote-unquote bad guys. I would say that the Black Hats would be the bad guys, quote-unquote, of the North, just because they would not necessarily take prisoners. They were pretty brutal when on a charge. They would get those bayonets out, kill anything in sight, and pretty much discuss taking prisoners a little bit later. So, guys, here we go. And the guy I was thinking of for the Confederacy was Nathan Bedford Forrest. But, you know, once again, we have to take things into account. This is, of course, written by the victories. History is written by the victors in general, and there's no exception in this war. So we don't know how many nasty, horrific generals the Union had. I'm sure they had quite a few. McClellan would be one to name. But in general, it's hard to see a unit as tough as the Black Hats. We're going to put them in charge of specifically this zone right here. In fact, I'm even going to send Seymour over there to assist. And we're going to put Monroe out here in the open. So far, not a single Confederate soul has been spotted, which is a little bit weird to me. I think we should be taking fire already, but who am I to judge? There we go. Sure enough, enemy cavalry is showing up, guys. All right, take just a few of these guys. The Iron Brigade over here. So the Iron Brigade has actually split, which I like. I need their help everywhere, pretty much. Wherever they can assist us is good. Let's see if we can go ahead and fire on Munford at this distance. Get a bit closer, guys. And I actually see some enemy infantry over here, Walker's enemy infantry, defending that area. So we're not going to get close. We're not going to get too close. Let's not fall into any traps. And let's also push on this zone right here with Iron Brigade. And we'll grab these guys and also push onto that zone. I'm still going to keep a few units over here, guys, just to watch what the Confederates are doing. Those sneaky rebels, you never know what they're up to. And right now it looks like they could be ready to do a counterattack. You just don't know. So I'm going to be very careful. I'll also take a ransom here. And really the goal is just to take this area and eventually to go ahead and take this one. Sure enough, look at that. They're charging with cavalry, man. Right away? Seriously? Must have been some updates since I last played. Alright, and they've also got Stark there. So they definitely chased us. I don't want to say we fell for the trap. We got pretty close to falling for the trap, but just in time we kind of held back. And they were able to get one nasty little volley on us. Alright, here we go, guys. Forward. For the Union, boys. Now we're firing at this Confederate unit over here in the woods, but the problem is, because of that tree cover, it's going to be pretty hard for us to do any real damage. I'm going to actually move the general over here for now. Might have to eventually charge, guys. I'll try to actually set the cannons up. Since we're so close, we should be able to get some canister shot, and, you know, cover or no cover, that should do a lot of damage. Alright, the hill is ours. Nicodemus Hill is ours. Pretty straightforward there. And what I'm going to try to do, guys, is swing through the woods here. I don't see any rebels. I just want to swing through the woods and hit the enemy from the flank. Of course, eventually taking this position. But I don't want to start advancing until that occurs. We'll actually have hard stuff pushed through here. He's got some wood cover there. But overall, again, I don't want to really advance too much until we know for sure that we're in position. On Patrick, Seymour. Oh boy, Patrick's already taking some canister shot there. That's pretty much just a big ball that just explodes on contact, sending shrapnel everywhere. Yeah, it's no fun. But most ways of dying in war generally aren't. Nor are they quick in most instances. Come on, Patrick. I'm actually going to have him run, guys. Again, it's been a while since I played the game, but I do remember the double quick button. And I think this would be a perfect time to set all the double quick buttons up. Pretty much just get into position over here with all of these guys. At the double step, boys. Now, let's see if Patrick can actually open fire on Munford. There we go. Yeah, we're going to knock those rebels down. And especially if they're on horses, it makes them a much more obvious target. We'll also try to fire at Jackson, their general. I mean, how great would it be if we could take their general out, especially a general as good as Jackson, and not have to worry about him for a good part of the battle. Another thing I want to do is try and charge that artillery unit, and I'm going to keep the Iron Brigade here just to watch, just to see what the enemy's doing. In case they try to move up here, we'll know right away. I'm charging. Let's do it with Hoffman. I want to take out that artillery, and I think we can do it, especially because of all the wood cover here. All right, Seymour, we need you elsewhere, son. Looks like Jubilee Early is right there on the front lines, guys. This is my favorite Confederate general. If you guys look up Jubilee Early's West Point stories, you can Google that. Just a funny guy. Got himself into some trouble, but overall, I think just a really good infantry commander. And, you know, no exception here. I mean, he's holding out against tremendous amounts of canister shot that we're throwing on him. Actually, excuse me, this is shell shot. As well as just continuous attacks by our men. So I'm hoping Christian can break the deadlock here with Jubal, but it's going to be tough, man. This is not a guy that's known for surrendering. Okay, there we go. We finally made contact with Courtney. Bandits are out, and I hope that Hoffman can go ahead and take this artillery out. We don't have to worry about enemy arty for a good part of the battle. At least not that enemy arty, of course. Although I am really, really tempted to bring the Iron Brigade over, and I think that's exactly what I'm going to do here, guys. Alright, it's time to push the rest of the boys forward. One of our colonels was just wounded. Let's try not to worry about it too much. But we definitely want to put the pressure on Stark. Here we go, guys. Man, it's a tough fight. Really hard to push on these positions, guys. I don't want to make, like, you know, just a reckless charge. Right, there we go. Warren is charging across, and believe me when I say that the Confederates get a pretty big charge bonus, although it looks like we just broke Jubilee early, and this could be a good time to actually charge ourselves. This is not a reckless charge because we know that the actual payoff is a pretty big one as long as this goes to plan. And actually, we might be able to stop the charge there with Hard Stuff and Dury, because we're already in position. I just want to get right there on their cover. This way we'll have the same amount of essentially fence cover as they will, so, you know, because we're right there on the position. So I think that's going to be very important. And let's keep pushing through. Don't want to stop now. Although having Wade Hampton and a few other guys here to make it even harder for us to take the area is not easy. And obviously, the nasty close combat fight here in the woods, I hope that we come out on top. In fact, I want to take the Iron Brigade, and I'm going to charge just to make sure we do come out on top. Send Seymour forward here. Oh boy. Just pounding away with that canister shot into Stark. I don't think he's coming back to the fight, but you never know. He's still got 430-something. Oh, actually, you know what? Take that back. And Anderson is 666. My goodness. For a second there, he really was on par with the devil. We're going to push through over here on the right side. And once again, guys, just going to move forward with Seymour. Move forward with the Iron Brigade as well and try to hit these guys on the flank. And we're so close to taking that position. That's the frustrating thing. It's right there, but the time is running out very quickly. And I'll try to hit that artillery. Alright, we're going for Douglas, guys. Here we go. Major charge. I'm going to bring Hooker over here. He should have been over here already. That was my bad. And it looks like Magleton got shot. Thankfully, he's going to survive. But with a nasty wound in the leg, that's not going to be fun. And unfortunately, Magleton broke. Once their commander went down, they immediately broke. That's pretty common during this time period. Just imagine being in one of these devastatingly terrifying, dangerous lines, and suddenly your commander, the guy that you trust, the guy that you think is probably going to make it through everything, drops next to you. You know, you don't have anybody to really order you around anymore. You're either going to stand there and, of your own volition, keep fighting, or you're going to get the hell out of there. I think I would probably get the hell out of there. We've also got Stonewall Brigade here, guys, and I hate Stonewall Brigade because of how tough they are. But luckily, there aren't many of them. I am going for a charge. This might seem a bit crazy, and maybe it is. But I want to see if we can't push Walker, Stonewall, and Stark, all very small brigades, off this area. It would be a really nice early victory. In fact, ooh, no, it's not going to go as planned. I'm going to try to get this guy over here at least. And it looks like Hood's division is coming from the south. It's going to be pretty tough to take that position with him moving forward. But maybe we still can do it. I don't know. At the very least, we can at least damage the enemy a lot before the next part of the battle. Wade Hampton's taking tremendous shots. I don't know why he's doing this. I guess just to take our focus away. But you know what? Let's let him be a fool right now. It looks like Iron Brigade is ready for a charge. Take Hard Stuff. Charge Jubilee early here. We already know they're pretty weak morale-wise. Let's just hope that continues. Patrick, move forward. Dury, you can't stop now, son. Since they charged, we've got to keep it up. And I'm actually going to move Hooker here just to give some support in terms of morale to our own men. And Magleton seems to have stabilized, so let's move him forward. Oh, man. All right, they've gotten behind the actual fences here. That's going to make things a lot harder. I'll let the charge go through here with Douglas. Let Patrick move up, but I think we're going to have to move back to the woods and rethink this strategy. Alright, we've got Law moving in here, folks. I'm just going to keep everybody in the woods. I really think that's the best thing to do right now. We're not necessarily going to break through that second line of defense to make it through to the second objective. It's just not going to happen. Come on, boys. Give him a full volley now. Magleton. Get some revenge for your commander. There we go. And Stark is going to have to get the hell out of here. Stonewall as well. Walker, however, is still here. I'm going to charge Walker. Looks like that charge isn't going to go as planned, unfortunately. And, okay, we've got to attack the Sunken Road, guys. The first wave of attack was not as successful as we expected, but revealed the intentions of the Confederates to hold their line and defend the town. Now we can send the rest of our forces down the valley. Okay. Dunker Church must be held to clear the left flank of the Confederates. The Sunken Road is an important position. The rebels will probably defend it with strong forces. We should advance and push them away. Well, let's hope we get enough reinforcements to make that happen. And it looks like we've got a bunch of forces there on the southeast side of the map. Beautiful that we can just break through with. It also looks like, according to recon, the Confederates are going to have quite a few more troops moving up here. So, first thing I want to do is get on that hill. Let's hope that there's nobody there, of course. And we've got a nice amount of reinforcements. I can't turn my nose up at this. And I'm going to set them up right there. So most of them end up in the woods. And just keep on fighting. Pretty much just keep things going as they were going in that last part. I really don't think we need to change anything. You know, things could obviously be better, but we don't necessarily need to push on these positions and try to take them. There's no sense of urgency. We've got reinforcements on the way. They're going to be able to help us out of this mess. At least I hope so. Christian, fire! Get these rebels out of here. Got them trapped in here like fish in a barrel. One thing I would like to do is be a little more aggressive against the units that are pushing up here. But you can just see, guys, over the cornfield here, it really is looking like the Battle of Antietam. There's so many dead on both sides. We see gray coats, we see blue coats. Everybody is falling during this battle. Even commanders are not even close to being safe during this fight. All right, there we go. They're charging through the Texas Brigade. And the Texas boys, especially when they're fresh here, are pretty damn good. I'm going to charge through, man. I'm not letting them just have a quick close combat victory there. That's unacceptable. We've got to do something about that immediately. Send those Texas boys back to Texas. All right, there we go. Walker's finally broken. Oh, not yet. Nope, nope, nope. He's going to stick around for a little bit more. I want to move our guys right there. In fact, I want to send all 3 units and set them up over here to the east of Early. I think it would work out beautifully. So I'll actually get started. Boom. Walker's going to break eventually anyway. I mean, look at that, guys. We're even hitting him with artillery. The guy's pretty brave. You got to give it to Walker. And all of those dead Confederates right there on the fence. You can actually zoom in there. That's all Walker's men. So once again, you've got to give it to Walker. He definitely did his best. His best, unfortunately, was not enough. Forward. Oh boy, I don't like that Confederate unit on top of the hill there. I was hoping we'd get here unmolested. Send our cavalry just to fire at them. That's it. I just want to give a nice little shot there. Maybe even get them to focus their volley on the cavalry and not on the infantry. Because I think in a position like this, charging may be a necessity, guys. All right. Got to bring Pleasanton back. I have never heard of this general, by the way, so shame on me. Pleasanton. I'll let our guys kind of just, get situated initially. We're not going to charge right away, especially since if we're going uphill, you better have a lot of momentum. And obviously going uphill, that's almost impossible. So if our guys have just been walking for a few minutes, that's not going to work out. That's going to be a bad idea. Rebels are reinforcing their positions. That's not good. And now, we'll charge. The Union forever, hurrah, boys, hurrah. Send the cannons up here on top of the hill. And we'll get Pleasanton over here to give us that morale support. Keep on attacking, boys. See if Barnes can charge over here to Colquitt. I mean, we're just making a massive charge uphill. This is crazy. But, sometimes you got to do crazy things to get a victory. I think this is no exception. We've got to get on that hill, first of all. Oh, Charles Griffin is wounded, but we did manage to rout Ripley's forces. All right, we're up there with Stockton. Just keep on moving, guys. Barnes as well. Colquitt has taken a beating here, and we've got to wait for those reinforcements before we get a larger infantry attack. In fact, we can move these guys even more. Let's go for it. And let's take this group, Mansfield's group. We're just going to charge. I'm going to actually have Anderson. I don't like to usually charge with a group this small, but I think we can make an exception here. We outnumber them by 2. Why not? Hit Barksdale, boys! Don't let those damn rebels across the field. No hard stuff. Just shoot them. There we go. I feel bad for Barksdale. I don't know what they were thinking. They were just walking willy-nilly across a field in open territory. Well, it is the Civil War. All right, let's fire at Ransom. I'll get Stainrook here to fire at Ransom, too. Just hit him from all directions. Before he can even make it to Gordon and Goodrich, this guy is going to be knocked down. If we can get that volley off. Doesn't look like that's happening. Gordon, good shooting, man. Not just from up on the hill, but from Gordon himself. Confederacy is starting to realize that they're not just messing with, you know, a few volunteer troops. They're messing with the entire Federal Army here. Frustrating that we're still fighting rebels here in the forest, but it makes sense. You've got to keep in mind that this is the place with the best cover on the entire map. So, of course, there's going to be a lot of Rebs here, and even though it's sort of in the area that we control, yeah, we're still fighting Rebs. Kershaw, you can see there are 3 stars. His men are tough, man, so knocking him out, it's really going to help. I mean, this is a Confederate general that has seen more than his fair share of fighting, but if we can just take that number down a bit, we probably don't have to worry about him for much longer. All right, hard stuff, get ready to fire. And he's using that beautiful Springfield M1855. Now, the thing about a smoothbore musket, there's a rifled musket and there's a smoothbore. The rifled musket actually is more accurate. The smoothbore kind of sounds better. And it looks like we've got General Longstreet. No! Thankfully, we did send Kershaw back. Hoffman's going to be able to attack them as well and probably lower their numbers even more. This is not a gentlemanly war at all right now. You know, fact is, if they're running, we're going to keep firing. We don't want them coming back. Getting set up there, guys. Getting some nice flank shots. Come on, boys, move faster. We might actually have them go ahead and go on the double quick. I mean, at this distance, going on the double quick is crazy, but we're going to do it anyway. Here we go. On the double quick, boys. A few of our guys are out here in the middle of the field. Looks like they are getting the short end of the stick. We're going to have to charge with Morris. We outnumber them dramatically here in this specific area, so I'm going to charge. And generally, once again, it's the Confederacy that gets that charge bonus, not the Union. So when we charge, we want to be absolutely sure of ourselves. And we're not right now. We're really not very sure of ourselves. The Gibraltar Brigade, come on, boys. Let Barksdale have it. And there we go, guys. Look at that. We've got some rebels on the run. I want to continue that charge. We're so close. We're so close to breaking this area. Let's move forward. And we could actually potentially just go for a massive attack right here. I'm thinking about it, just to basically go charge all along the line and try to take that zone. I don't know if we should do it, though. What I am also thinking about is maybe doing some flank attacks with our cavalry. Get Porter and Pleasanton forward. All right, we're going to go for a charge for Evans. Sabres out, boys! Sabres out for the Union. Come on. Oh, Posey's going to move forward. At least we'll be able to shoot at him. Like shooting fish in a barrel at this point. And sure enough, Farnsworth is going to rout pretty damn quickly there. But look at the firepower we're throwing on that location, man. We'll actually send in Whitting just for the hell of it. Why not? Here we go. Yeah, our boys have arrived. Philadelphia Brigade is moving up. Pennsylvania boys are going to get their chance at some blood. I'm going to go for a charge on Pelham. Once again, just taking out all of the enemy arty here. I'm surprised our boys didn't do that yet. I'm going to take Hooker and put him back here, but let's move forward with the rest of these boys. Keep on going. Got the entire Federal Army, well, a very big portion of it, 71,000 men, guys, that came onto the Antietam battlefield just for the Union side. Just think about that, to fight this battle. I mean, it's incredible. Now, I'm not sure if every single one of our 71,000 men are on the field as we speak, but it sure as hell looks like it, I'll tell you that. Now, getting a major general wounded, that's never fun, but we got to keep on pushing. We charge with Crawford as well. Again, force of numbers still matters. This may be very close to modern times in terms of the tactics, etc. Yeah, I know standing in the line, not very modern, but everything else pretty damn close, especially the bullets. It doesn't make a damn difference. If we have more men and we can charge them, they are going to have to leave, pretty much. As you can see, we took that area so quickly. Dunker Church is ours. And is this the road to a certain victory? I don't know, guys. We're about to wait and see. Fire, boys! Hoorah! Iron Brigade. Oh, that was a beautiful volley by just 306 men. Almost feels like every single one of those hits landed. I know they didn't, but man, that Iron Brigade is just absolutely beautiful. All right, got a few more reinforcements on the way. I don't know what we need those for, but I'll take them. All right, having a guy right here in the bed of the canal is just basically a dream come true. Oh, that would have been a dream come true if they kept the charge going. All right, boys. For Lincoln and Liberty. Let's do it. Those Texas boys are back for a second round. Can't say I blame them. Look at that beautiful bloodshed. Come on, boys, reload. I mean, we've got so much arty up here. We're ready to go, guys. I just want to get some shell shot on those large groups. They're all boxed in here, and we just have to slowly close that vice grip around them. That's going to be the key to victory here. Focus your fire here, boys. Look at all those rebels. Can't imagine how many spent cartridges, guys, would be left on the field after a fight like this. Looks like General Franklin mobilizes all of his troops for the attack on the rebel center. Oh, man. Even more reinforcements on the way, guys. It almost can't get any better than this. But we've only got a minute 14 to fight here. Of course, this is in-game time. We could definitely potentially still lose this battle. There's no doubt about it. There's just a lot still to be done, and this is a really long one. For those of you that have made it this long, please do make sure to let me know in the comments down below by either giving a rebel yell or giving a thumbs up to Lincoln. Maybe not a thumbs up, something to Lincoln, to let me know what side you're on. And, you know, hit that like button, comment down below, and, of course, subscribe if you haven't already. I can't express enough, if you guys enjoy these videos, you got to hit that like button. You got to hit that bell as well to get those notifications, or else I'm not even going to know that you guys want to see Civil War videos in the future. This is definitely one game we haven't touched in a very long time, but I always enjoy playing it, so I'm tempted to keep going with it. But again, you guys have to let me know. All right, guys, we're going for the big win here, at least during this part of the battle. I think there's probably going to be another part, but we're just going for a massive, massive federal charge. That's what I'm talking about, boys and girls. Once we take the center, we can talk about potentially setting up. But for now, I just want to keep moving. Send the Irish Brigade forward. Look at that. And, of course, we have taken the location. But it might be time pretty soon here to go ahead and stop attacking. You can just imagine these two forces during this battle, and this was true during the actual Battle of Antietam. They absolutely hate each other. They just want to kill each other. At this point, you know, bayonets, rifle butts, smashing skulls. Nobody is being left alive if the other side can help it. We might need to attack Anderson again. He is a tough cookie. But it looks like Anderson might be finally breaking. I'm still going to give him a volley if I can. And move the rest of these boys forward. Go for it. There we go, men. We hold the church. We can move forward without any issue. Although, it's probably better to move this way. Through the woods. Alright, we're going to swing around with the Irish Brigade and go for a straight charge against the Louisiana Tigers. And sure enough, they routed. And that's primarily because the Texas Brigade got a nice volley on their flank. Gotta get rid of that damn Texas Brigade. At this point, guys, as you can imagine, I just want to hold position. I don't want to move from this area at all. I want to stay here. We've got every single point we want. Obviously, trying to put our guys in a better position would be a good idea, but in general, I want to stay put. Keep on moving these artillery pieces forward. The worst thing about moving artillery is knowing that it can't fire in the time that it's moving. We've got to accept that situation. Alright, just because Wheeler has a tremendous amount of men, I am going to carry out a charge. If he can do it. Doesn't look like Wheeler's going to go for the charge. What about the Philadelphia Brigade? Do it for Pennsylvania, boys. Come on now. Look at that field, man. Even without the bodies, you can never farm on this area. Well, I mean, it's not that you can never farm, but for decades, you wouldn't be able to farm on this area. And that Sunken road is still contested. I don't see how, but yeah. Might as well go ahead and keep pushing our advantage. Come on, Philadelphia Brigade. Gotta let Anderson have it here. And the Philadelphia boys got routed. Just goes to show you, like, numbers don't necessarily mean a good brigade. You know, the Philadelphia boys, they have 1 star, which is pretty good. Of course, the 3 stars that most of the Confederate guys have, much better. And this is pretty standard during the Civil War. Confederates had less men, but certainly more experienced men. They fought in a lot more battles. They saw a lot more actual combat. You know, that's just a fact. But in terms of our boys, you know, again, it's not always the numbers that counts. I would take 769 men in the Iron Brigade over 2,000 in, you know, let's say maybe Whitting's Brigade anytime. I mean, that's just the way I feel. Got a better leader. You've got men that have seen combat before. They're going to come out a lot better than just a bunch of conscripts. We're talking about the true volunteers, the black hats. Keep it up, boys. Get these generals set up. Porter and Pleasanton. Major General George Greene is killed. Holy hell. Well, I told you guys this would get crazy. I didn't expect it was going to get that crazy, but we just lost a major general during a battle. That's something that doesn't usually happen. Not even in the Civil War. It does happen more in the Civil War than any other conflict, you know, recently at least. But, yeah, man, that's pretty amazing. Even in World War I, it was, you know, post-Civil War, extremely unlikely to have that happen. In fact, they went out of their way to make sure generals were not in positions like that. But even if we come away with a victory, just like the real Battle of Antietam, look at all of the Federals dead in this field, guys. We have lost so many men in these fights, close combat fights. Now, they're not necessarily all dead. If you look up, you know, the American Civil War, you know, post-casualties or post-battle casualties, you're going to see that a lot of guys are, you know, just severely wounded. A lot of guys are just barely wounded, etc. But what we never hear, which is even more tragic, is the fact that a lot of those wounded men or severely wounded men that would have been counted as just wounded during or post-battle, probably eventually, most of them do die. You know, we're not talking about expert medical care here at all. So if you've got, you know, a leg cut off, your chances of survival have certainly decreased pretty dramatically. Now, if you manage to get over the infection and, you know, you're okay afterwards, maybe you'll live, but you're not going to live a very normal life, and you're certainly not returning to the fight. So even if we're not having guys all killed, and even if a lot of these Federals are just wounded, they're not coming back to fight for us in any future battles. And I think that's why Antietam was a Pyrrhic victory, if ever there was one for the Union. They did win, but at the cost of so many men and a huge number of officers. That was one of the terrifying things about Antietam, is just losing so many of their officers in one battle. We just lost a brigadier general. That's pretty damn... I think that's the highest you can go in terms of an officer class. All right, Burnside must pass the bridge. It seems the rebels have deployed their entire army to counter our frontal assault. We can now attempt to pass the stone bridge and flank them. The city of Sharpsburg must be secured to claim victory today, General. All right, so pretty straightforward. We have to push on I didn't say it. I didn't say it, YouTube. You can't demonetize me. The city of Sharpsburg. We cannot allow the rebels to gain the Dunker Church area, okay? Or the Sunken Road. Yep, so pretty much we have to take that location, and we cannot lose our other locations. Pretty straightforward, and I'll accept it. At this point, we're already set up on that side of the river, so I'm just going to take this entire group and go straight for the city. We are setting up. I mean, it's not like we're just throwing them out there. We've got a few more units over here that we could sort of throw out there. They've just arrived to the battle. They haven't seen a lot of fighting, and I think it's a perfect time to sort of recycle units, for lack of a better word. But I also want to take out, you know, these artillery pieces on the side, maybe get some of the enemy supplies, knock them out. I think that would really improve our chances of a victory. It can never end until victory is achieved, guys. That's just the way it's got to be right now. Get the Russia's Lancers. What? The Union has Lancers? Okay, I'm surprised. Looks like we have even more reinforcements. We'll move these guys forward as well. I thought we had enough, but you know what? We'll have these guys break through over here on this northern bridge. And yeah, I think we just have to keep pushing, guys. We've got the advantage. You know, I know a lot of people often will kind of chastise my way of playing in these games, which is always very aggressive. But this is one instance where being aggressive is essential. You know, the enemy's retreating. They're setting up like these tiny lines of defense. And we can't just be scared away by those. We got to keep on pushing forward. You know, we got to just push forward. And again, these newer guys that have just arrived on the fight, Brooks, Hancock, Irwin, the Gibraltar Brigade has seen a few rounds already, but most of these guys haven't seen a lot of fighting, so they're perfect to just send into the fight. They're itching to fight. For those of you that are interested in like Civil War books, there's one really great one. I'm sure you know it's pretty standard fare in like elementary school, even the Red Badge of Courage. And in the Red Badge of Courage, even though I would say it's a little propagandistic in support of war. But you know, one thing they discuss that even my father discussed, being a Vietnam veteran, are those times in between when you're told action is going to occur and it doesn't, and you're just waiting for it to occur, and it grinds on you. You know, just imagine that sort of you know, fight or flight complex or fight or flight response consistently nagging at you. You want to fight, but you're also afraid to fight, but it's just not happening. And so a lot of these units that are just arriving on this field, I'm sure they're actually quite happy to get a chance at a little bit of shooting here, especially since this battle is by no means over, guys. But just to make things especially certain, I'm going to grab this chunk of troops and push right into the town itself. Even if we have to do house-to-house fighting, I want to make sure we get this victory. Gordon, charge. Bayonets at the ready, boys. Might as well knock down those artillery pieces. There we go. Let's get Walton as well. And General Longstreet. General I really respect a lot. He's right there. But I'm actually going to review the rest of the battlefield, guys. Just look at that. We always knew this was going to be a absolutely deadly battlefield. But man, It really is. Just incredible. Just to make sure we don't lose that area, I don't think we will. But I'm going to bring Monroe over here. I'm going to bring a few of our artillery pieces that aren't really doing much over here. I might even actually bring Newton over. Just to be certain. Come on, boys. Just must be terrifying, despite the fact that, you know, in all frankness, despite maybe Sherman's march through Georgia, in general, civilians were treated pretty well during the American Civil War. But even seeing this massive army approach from a window, like over here, I think I would get the hell out of my house and probably go to a friend's house somewhere closer to the center of town, because you could just imagine all of the rounds that we've seen, all of the, you know, the mini balls that we've seen flying consistently every single millisecond even. They're just incredible, man, and it certainly wouldn't be difficult to be in one of these windows and potentially catch a bullet. We know that happened several times during the American Civil War. You know, civilians getting hit by bullets, you know, unknowingly. And so I think people here seeing this massive army, this really is truly the Federal Army right here approaching. It must be somewhat terrifying. There's no doubt about it. I mean, that is the U.S. Army. If you can't bow down to that, then you know what? You're in for a hell of a fight. These guys certainly look prepared to, of course, establish law and order, and if that means knocking out their southern brethren, they're going to do exactly what they need to do. For on Longstreet, love to see Longstreet retreat from this actual battle. That would just be incredible. Also, just, you know, the fact that the Confederacy would lose a very, very good general. Fire down on Walker. Yeah, Walker is crushed. Although with that 3 rank, you can see those guys, they seem to just eat bullets up. Not for long. Come on, Gorman. I've never heard of you, but it's your time to shine, son. And there we go. Look, devastating shot by Gorman, guys. Just using standard Springfield M1855s, of course, but it's more than capable of killing a man. We still haven't taken that center. I might have Gorman charge in. I mean, the guy has done a lot already. I'm going to have him and Caldwell charge in as I move the rest of these troops right over here on the edges of the town. Edges of wonderful Sharpsburg, Virginia. Also, guys, make sure if you enjoy this Ultimate General Civil War video and you haven't seen other UG Civil War videos on the channel, make sure just to go into my channel, into the playlist, and type in Ultimate General Civil War. We've actually got a Union campaign, a Confederate campaign, a bunch of other just standard battle videos like this one. Please take a look. Go in, you know, watch the videos, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, obviously, but share with your friends. That's the most important thing. Share those videos with your friends. If you like these videos, we've got so many of these videos already basically set up. That being said, this is the most recent update, so, you know, of course, the more recent, the better in most cases. Just keep on moving, boys. We've got it. I mean, we've got this. It's going to be very hard for the Confederacy to do anything to turn this battle around. In fact, we can even fast forward here. Now, I don't like the enemy here, but I think if we just all fire at Frothel. Looks like this Confederates secured the stone. What the hell? How did they do that? Come on, boys. Don't get complacent now. Alright, we're going to try to move Jeb Stuart back. I think we can definitely take the stone bridge. I just don't think they have enough men to actually hold this area. That being said, I will still take a few of these men, specifically our artillery and some of our outlying units. With our outlying units, I'm going to charge. With our artillery, I'm just going to set up in town. Same pretty much with all of these new infantry units like Dana. Again, we just want to hold these areas. What's this? We've even got a few arty units over here that we haven't paid attention to. Go for it, Crawford. Bartlett. With best, we'll set up. And I don't like doing this because we're firing into town, but sometimes you've got to fire at some civilians to hit any targets. I mean, that's just the cold, hard truth. Looks like we might get Jones to break, and I can't wait to see the actual casualties for this battle, guys. Should be something pretty extraordinary, especially since most of the rebels are off the field. They're not even here. I mean, this is completely our field. Never won a victory before the end of the time period, but there we go, guys. We did get a victory, and that's going to be the battle outcome. Actually, we lost a lot of men. As you can see, 17,977 lost on our side, 20,261 lost on the enemy side. And as you can see, we even lost, of course, colonels, just officers in general. Some of them got promoted, but these guys took a hell of a pounding, man. Really nice little battle there, and if you guys enjoyed it, you know what to do. But I just love this game. What a fun game. The biggest shame of this game is the fact there's no multiplayer. That's just tragic. All right, boys, catch you on the next one. I hope you enjoyed the Battle of Antietam.